Oh, thank you everybody for showing up to this Thursday, June 29th, Legal Shield and Fieldnotes webinar we do. Want to say, how is everybody doing today?
Good.
Amen. Amen.
Good.
I'd like to hear that. Has everybody been using the new UI? And does anybody have any things that they'd like to discuss, bring up now that we are ramping up with this new UI? And I think we'll have updates weekly from suggestions and things that you guys find. And so,
Is there a
anything-
training on the new? Because I hadn't been on it for a bit and opened it and went, whoa, what the
Well,
heck happened?
well, definitely, I've been trying to give a lot more priority to the new. So this is a perfect place. If you want, we can kind of go through it. I'll say it again, nothing's changed in the sense of products so far. Everything is still the same. So for some of you, this customer engagement view, some have it, some don't. This is something that was out of my hands for many years. So new people shouldn't see this, let's say, feature, but it's just.
If you think you're sharing your screen, you're not.
I'm not. There we go. No wonder. There we go. So
I know that you wanted to share, but yeah.
I forget. Big fingers. So this view, looking at it, it does look helpful for you guys because it does give like email sent, text messages sent, things like that. So I am trying to see if we can get a version of our own that isn't oriented to kind of like, well, this doesn't have handoffs. And so seeing that there's no handoffs, this might work, but let me see if it's this view. No. All right. That's just because I have admin user privileges. It kind of goes crazy. But so yeah, so I guess I have to look at the settings to this one. But for you guys, you'll see your normal dashboard, right? It'll say, if I'm not correct, what does it say?
Jeremy, would it be safe to say,
Mhm.
for sake of, catching Kathy up, that all the functionality that was in our previous version should be in the new version? It's just got a new look and feel, and it's laid out in a little bit more user-friendly way, or at least that's the goal.
Yes.
And so all the functionality should be the same. So I will tell you, Kathy, what I'm doing is, as I'm trying to really lean into the new UI, but when I get stuck or when I can't find where the chat button is in the new UI, I always have, I took the Rick Allen approach. I always have the second window open, that I have the old UI up. And I sometimes bounce between the two, like, hey, I can't find the timeline over here. I will tell you, Jeremy's probably answered about 9,000 questions from me this week on that live chat, but it's because I have both windows open and I'm going like, hey, what about this? Or what about that? Or how do I find this now? And, very quickly we've been able to, he's been able to point me in the right direction and answer the questions. And most of it's there. It's just kind of finding where it is in the new layout.
I figured that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So this customer engagement, this is the view that you guys should be seeing. It's the lead management one that gives other features that I still think that are useful, such as it'll give you like a running kind of log of people who opened up emails. So if you guys are strictly prospecting, you could send out emails and then view that monitor, and you'll see kind of like live when people not reply to stuff, but when they opened it, it actually notifies you. So if you wanted to call that person while they're opening up the email, that might get them captivated in front of their computer and that kind of thing. I would say possibly easier to sell, right? So this is
Also known as stalker mode.
yes, yes. That's it. I mean, well, that's how we used to do it in sales. They would send out, they would do campaigns, and then everybody who opened, they would take all of those leads and they would disperse it amongst the team, and then everybody else that couldn't sell would get the rest of the leads. And then so that's that I've seen that happen live in offices, and so I would say it's a good approach to kind of going after people if you're trying to close them and that kind of stuff. So this is the dashboard view, right? And you'll see the that being named here. So when you go to the calendar view, you'll see that this changed to tasks. When you go to the contacts, it'll give you all of your reports here. This is obviously all contacts. This is all leads. So this is in the manage leads kind of view. This is the bucket just for your leads. And then here's all of your reports. So if you wanted to go strictly just to a report, you could. A lot of people have been, what is it, reporting some issues with the reports. In some cases, like this one. So this one has something selected. However, we don't see that selected. Now that that happened, I want to grab, well, I'll just grab a screenshot later. And so this has been reported and should be, I think maybe next week they're gonna address it. So if you find that you have not folders, but these are called now views, so they're no longer called reports. They kind of wanted to step away from the word reports so that it didn't get people confused with these reports. So these are now called views. So your views, if there's anything wrong with them, you may need to redo them. What I would do is just kind of maybe put like a letter or a little star or some type thing, something different, and then just recreate them if it's something that you need. But yeah, so this is something that's been reported, but you can quickly select, or you can go to all contacts. Whenever you select something now, and you'll start to see that you get these options light up. So based on what you're selecting, these are telling you you can do a mass edit, you can delete them all, you can have access to more options, which you can create them, or you can put them into all your leads, or if these were people that were your leads, you can remove them. You can do mailing labels for those. This is group messaging, or this is a bulk email or a bulk text message. And then this is action plan. So that is that. This button is for selecting columns. So here you should be able to select what you want. Hit show data. Let's close this.
So Jeremy, while you're on that columns thing, we still have to select the columns we want to see, then save it as a report, or sorry, whatever you just said.
Yeah.
To be able to keep those columns.
If you
Save
want
it
the
as a view.
columns, yeah, to save it as a view. If you want those,
Yes, view.
if you
Thank
want
you. Sorry.
those columns in a specific view, you can select them, and then you can go in and save the view. Right. So
Thank you. Okay, so that process is still the same.
Yes. A lot of that.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff, like Kathy mentioned, is the same. It should have the same logic.
Okay.
But yeah, so this wasn't happening. This little blue dots indicator, this wasn't also telling you there was 3 selected like it was before. So those are just some things that I requested quickly. And then also here, right? This is a fixed bar. So even if you go to 200, it's still gonna allow you to have the same 200 in the view, but you no longer have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to the page. go over to the left, go over to the right, and drive yourself crazy. So
Hmm.
that's no longer something that that you guys have to do. Now, I do want to say be careful because I've had some people. So this is when you want to have all your contacts with a specific view, right? Jackie had reported something like it wasn't working correctly. I overlooked that there was something in here. So it wasn't giving her full list. She was saying something's wrong. I'm only getting 3 contacts of the 42 that I should have. I overlooked this and it was on this. And so it wasn't anything wrong with the report. It was just also through this report searching these 3 letters. And so it was only giving these 3 options. So because it's new, I would say just possibly slow down and then like when you do this X or something like that, it will clear it and then now give you your full list. So just be careful. If you have anything that's going weird, just kind of maybe review your steps. It might be that when it comes to filtering, you have something additionally in here. And so that's obviously going to cause a problem. So
And
now,
one of the issues I had when the changeover is all of my contacts. When you went to contacts and went to the different contact listings you had built, they were empty. And all I had to do was basically just go in and reestablish those same filters. And it all didn't have changed names, any of that, just, if you will, reactivate the filters that were used to set up that particular contact list. And it all came back. But just something else you may want to be aware of that's an easy fix.
yeah, you have to kind of, some of them you have to mess with them, some of them you don't. But if it is, you know, not working correctly, I would just create a new one, name change it a little bit, and then delete the other one and kind of use that one if it's a important report. Because I think this is going to get in production by next week sometime. So maybe beginning Monday, midweek. But they are rushing to take whatever we have and Jackie, and help us with getting these things fixed as soon as possible. So if you guys catch anything, the quicker you get it over to me is going to be good. Another thing I want to jump to is these buttons up here. Cassie had asked me, where's the timeline? Couldn't find it. So starting from right to left, we can look at the bell notifications, right? So if you don't have the app installed on your phone, or if you're not using the system on your browser on your phone, you could get notifications right through the mobile, through the bell notifications, or through email. And depending on the settings, you know, it'll alert you of a lot of stuff that's going on within the account. And so that's something to take a look at. Then we've got the timeline. So here you'll see all your emails and all your tasks, whether if it's 30 days in the future, emails, text messages, you'll see it all here. This is view messages. So this is where you'll have your contacts. You can quickly search your contacts. You can pull up somebody and now you can have access to them. You'll have access to all of, let's say, their timeline. And then if you wanted to write an email, you could, a text message. If you wanted to do a call, or check the voicemail if they left one. These are additional features if you wanted to pay, but can be done. So try to see how useful this can be for you guys. You guys can simply type and then send as. It'll give you the option whether email or text message. And then if it's a text message, it should give you, with text message, it sends it immediate. So be careful what you write here. And if you hit, right, SMS, it's going to send it immediate. I think email, it opens up the email, and then you can get access to your templates and such and do that. So this one's a little bit different. It's not immediate as you press. This is the button that would send the email. This is where you would change the date and time and send it into the future or set it up for the future. So this is all relatively the same.
So Jeremy, that SMS message, that's actually going to go out immediately, as it's not going to observe the 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. window.
Say that again.
Well, there's the according to the law that we have to follow when it's sending SMS messages, you've got 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, the
and the
blackout.
system used, yeah, the blackout. So the system used to restrict you from sending SMS messages in blackout hours. So does it not do that anymore in this particular case?
I don't know. I don't think we're going to be not respecting the law, right? But that's a good thing that you're bringing up, because and with the text messaging, right? So if we just put test and I do save or send as and I do SMS, what if you wanted to do this in the future? I don't think it lets you do that. It just says it's been sent. So it brings up two questions. That one you said, and that little
And should
feature.
they be putting the time feature in there? Yeah.
Yeah, for that reason alone, just so that people then can set it for like 8:01 or something like that, so that it can
And
go right at.
is that blackout their time zone? I mean, does it adjust for their time zone, or how does that work?
It
It's
adjusts.
yours.
It's your time zone. So whatever you're set up in your profile,
Because unless you start putting it in there, you don't know what their time zone is.
so whatever you put in your profile, that's what it's going to go by. So George
Okay.
being in New York, if he set up, if he does, he can send out emails earlier, right? Because he's in the Eastern, when people in the Pacific, like when they start sending out emails, if they have any contacts that are from New York or in the East Coast, they would start getting emails at 11 o'clock, if I'm not correct. Right, with the time difference. So regardless if they're, if they have a lot of East Coast people and they want to get stuff in there in the early morning, they would have to change their time zone to East Coast so that it would be 8 o'clock in the morning East Coast, right?
So Jeremy, that applies to emails and SMS?
The blackout is with text messaging.
Okay.
And phone calls, right?
Well, I don't think there's nothing that's gonna block. Well, I can't necessarily say, but I do think that they have, since that SMS and the text messaging and the phone calling is from the same third party. I want to say that yes, but I haven't asked that question, to tell you the truth. So I will ask and find out and let you guys know. But I'm assuming so. It's the same service, and so I would think they would protect the same thing.
We
But
could also call and ask our law firm what the law is, but there's that option as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you could. Another great thing of having Legal Shield, huh? Little plug. So that is.
Question for you, Jeremy.
Tell me.
I was working with, I guess it was the profile area,
Okay.
and there was an option to add voicemail. I mean, it was just a simple click. I didn't click it, but it was to add voicemail. Let's see where it were.
And profile settings? No, right? This is the same.
No.
And then let's see, download report, manage templates, leads, reviews, features. voice calling.
There it is. There. Okay. No, it didn't say voice calling. It just said voice mail or voice messages that or something to that effect. And I was just curious that if that got clicked, if it just automatically changed the billing or adding the extra $40, or if it was actually we have voice messaging and just haven't talked about it.
No,
The way it was worded, it looked like, oh, okay, you can get this, and if you click this button, you can get voice messages in at this number. I think it was actually in the part where there was the setup of the special phone number.
let me stop sharing something and let me go to you. I think it could be a not necessarily a you thing, but what I was mentioning before, 30-fold. Legal. Interesting. You just have email CRM. Let me just look at your profile off the side real quick.
Hey, Jeremy, is the Fieldnotes app, the new version, going to be a little more user friendly? Because it was so small trying to read a contact. You know, you had to turn your phone horizontally to get it to go across. You know what I mean? It was tiny, tiny.
I didn't necessarily experience that it was tiny, but interesting. But yeah, they are looking to revamp the app. Are we talking the iOS and the Android app?
Yes.
Yeah, they are looking to voice calling. They are looking to adjust that. Well, I think they're working on this, and they've got some people working on the app, and so I'm assuming they should at some point sync up and look the same. My connections, SMS, billing history, access.
And that particular question would probably be more important to brand new people, so you don't necessarily need to spend time on that for the group here.
But yeah, I was wondering if it's in your, and I don't see it anywhere in your profile, so maybe we take it offline. And
I was helping somebody else with a newer person with theirs, and that's where I saw it. So
all right, let me get back into the new page. Let me share again. So I think where we were is, so this was the view message where you can see the messages from the contacts. Here is add a contact. So you could simply straight from this icon, add contacts one by one. You could add spheres. You can manage your items. If you needed to add stuff, you'd be able to do that. Same as before. This is where you add items to spheres and to the other ones like referral source or your follow-up frequency. Here at the bottom is where you would change the field name if you wanted to. This is more for like the new people. Here, let me zoom it up a little bit. So here you can make your changes, and it looks like it also gives you manage items. That's interesting. Nice. So here you could manage items as well, but curious, I think I saw something. Okay, so this doesn't have many. And we're in Bob. Okay. So these are the options up at the top. Now we can work with the ones that are here on the side. So this is your dashboard. This is where all your contacts are. So this is your all leads with the my leads view. All right. So this is remember, this is where you guys wanted to have something that kind of said the company name, that kind of stuff. So they have heard that request, and they haven't reported back when it's going to get pushed, but it is on the list. Oh, I see what it is. Rick Allen is stepping in. So let me just, it's because I opened you up on the other platform. Let me close out of you.
Yeah, if I can borrow a phrase from Rocket Man, it wasn't me.
Oh, it was. So go to this one. Let's do Bob again. And Mr. Johnson. Okay. So back on the screen. So let's go to my leads again. So this was the view from before. Let's see. I don't think much has changed. You'll just see that it's the same kind of view, just different kind of icons with our color scheme. So yeah, so you can still click this. It's going to bring you to the details of the customer. You'll be able to edit here. Relatively the same. Compose an email. Let's see. You can look at referral source. I think this is contact source and referral source. So you can switch between those. If you have filters, you could, or views, you can view the views within these. I'm assuming. Nope. Takes you back to your views in the other view. Okay. I can see if that's what they intended that to be, but that's what it looked like it does. Let's see here. Let's see what my leads look like. Pretty much the same thing. These are just the people that you basically heart. And so here you can see them. You can go through multiple pages, or you can set it up to 200. And pretty much straightforward when it comes to the view and the functions. Everything is still the same. Let's see. Any questions with like the contacts, with the contact view? Do you guys find it too much of a change in which makes it difficult for you guys to kind of move around? No?
I think it's mostly just getting used to the icons and where we get to the things that we used to get to in a different way from that perspective.
That's why it's best to kind of force yourself to kind of, because then you're going to find yourself doing the things that you'll find your rhythm, and you'll see whether if it's with your rhythm or it's not, and that's where the rhythm is going to get you. All right, so the calendar view, it's called tasks. However, this is relatively the same. I am trying to see if we can get a button that is either check all and delete for the people that make mistakes when they send these out. So let's say you did a mass email, you send it to 100 people, but you sent it, I don't know, on a Saturday instead of on a Friday. So what would you need to do? You would have to find the emails. It'll show a number, whether if it's in an all day or if it's whether it's one of these time slots. And you can click each little pencil to each one of those emails, and you can edit the time, or if you needed to edit the email, you could do that. But I asked if they could put a button in which we could then set the time all together just to do like a whole group, but it doesn't look like that's possible. So what they thought of was a delete, meaning you could check everybody, it would delete all the emails, and then you can go back from the start, do it again, which I think is still better than going through 100 different emails and trying to change the times. I think that that's a little bit more time consuming. So at least the fact that you can delete them all and then send it again, that's something that I raised my hand about. So with this, remember that you have your filters. I don't know if a lot of people know, but a lot of people ask me questions. Oh, I have an action plan and I don't know if it's set up. I send out some text messages. I don't know if they've been sent. So if you have those questions, you want to basically come to here, hit the filters, whether if it's emails, look at emails. If it is a completed email, you can do that. Or if it's an overdue email, you can look at it like that. Or you can hit apply. I don't know if we have anything in the works, whether if it's in the future or not. No. And so you can search your emails, you can search your text messages. So this is kind of what I was mentioning. If you wanted to make a change, you have to go through each one of these little pencils and do the changes physically. Or you can delete them, but still you have to go through this, and then it kind of kicks you back. And so it just possibly could take you a minute or two to delete a bunch. So I'm fighting for the delete all button. What else about show hidden? Oh, I don't know if you guys know about when you guys, this is something Cassie brought up and we played around with. When you guys have happy birthday messages that are set up in action plans, there is a button in which you can exclude those from the timeline so that you're not getting bombarded. Or if you're just getting a bunch of happy birthday emails mixed in with all your communications. So you could actually go to one of those existing action plans, right, Kathy? Check that box again, save it, and then it will go through all of the contacts and remove those people from the timeline.
Well, remove that
That email,
event. Yeah.
that action plan. So
Right.
if it was all created an action plan, and then, but there was one place that you were not, that it wasn't removing, and was it from the timeline?
No, it was from the timeline, and it looked like in the beta view, I was still seeing birthday things come through. I haven't looked at it today to see if it's still that way, but it was like on one view, it seemed to be removing them, and on the other one, they was still there or something. I don't know. So
Right. Something I want to look into, just make sure that it's working. But we kind of tested that out, and that kind of, I thought that since it wasn't checked, what was there was going to stay there, and only just the future stuff. But it looks like it went through and it removed them all from the people's timeline, which is good. So if you guys needed to do that, keep that in mind, that that's like a setting. And if you wanted to show the ones that are hidden, you could check here, and I'm pretty sure it would show any of the hidden ones. I don't think I have anything like that set up, so not going to show much. But if you wanted to, how would you say, look to see what you've done, just to make sure that you've done. I think George had a situation like that. He started an action plan, didn't know where to really kind of see if he'd put them in an action. I went to here and we could see that nothing was being run. So we had to go back to action plans and start them again. So another button that has reappeared, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but responses wasn't, looks like they took away responses and I had to get it back. So we've got responses in the Thunderbolt. So there's action plans, responses, touch points, and we moved the templates to the front. That way you don't have to go through the settings and kind of dig it up, or go to a contact and kind of dig it up through there. But let's look at action plans. Action plans, what's a little bit different? I find people going, well, where's my stuff? I don't see nothing. Like, where's my folders? Your folders are here. And so you just basically have to go to here to see your folders. This is where you can create more folders. And so, yeah. And then our library is here. And once again, you just have to set up the folders and then go through and see what you want. And I think, what is this? LSA. Okay, so this is the tag, preview, and import. Interesting. So you can view the full message. Oh, that's nice. Before it was a little kind of constrained. It was like in these little small, thin little boxes that you really couldn't see much. So this at least gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you've got. So let's see.
Jeremy,
Yes.
quick question. When you're going, like it's here and it's here and it's here, I'm having a little trouble finding it before you flip to the next section. Can
Okay.
you say something like it's here on the right or it's up at the top here and then go so we can follow you? It's a little too fast for me. Sorry.
Sorry. I think people
Okay.
see that a lot that I just whiz around.
Talk us through the motion of the mouse.
Yeah, just because we're still trying to learn and read it and stuff. So appreciate that. Thank you.
No. So here to the right is your folders. Up at the top are like the same options from before that used to be on, I think it was like in the middle of the page on the left. So you can view your action plans. These are all of your action plans and your folders on the right-hand side. You can create a new action plan up at the top, and you can have access to your folders so that you can put it in the marketing. You can give it a name, a description. Here is the button about hiding this from your timeline. This one is pause on response. So if you built in text messages with it, if somebody replies to your text message, this pauses the action plan so that you can then answer. So that button is good for creating action plans when you're the first person and you're like, you could set it up for outreach. And then that way, when they reply to one of your emails or to one of your text messages, it immediately stops it so that you can step in and begin to answer the person and kind of pick up from there so that not the AI, but the action plan just doesn't continue. So if you wanted to categorize it, I know buyer, seller aren't options for you guys, but I think which ones, yeah, I guess you guys only have, so do you guys think that you guys have any ideas for some tags that you guys can use? I'm trying to think, like pre-cancel, does that like, should we use some of the categories like DM,
I'm
prospect?
sorry, what are these tags?
These
In
tags
the-
tag the action plan. So you can see a lot of these are from like nurture. Nurture you guys could use. You guys could use the tag for Spanish, seasonal, LSA, reviews. No, I don't think too much investment would work for you guys.
Well, but,
Closing
okay,
seller.
thinking back for a second.
Mhm.
Oh, geez, I forgot what it's called. Under status and sales cycle,
Mhm.
in order to automatically trigger an action plan, that's where they're labeled pre-cancel and then what type of pre-cancel. I mean, at least for me. So I'm trying to figure out what would this tag be a benefit for if I go into a contact and he was in a group and he's no longer employed there, and I change him from, an active member to a pre-cancel, let him know the
But
coverage
this
is
is tagging the action plan, not the member.
right. But that's what I'm saying is my action plans are already
In
got a
folders.
name on them. I'm trying to figure out what the tag benefit is to.
So so the benefit would be if you wanted to like sort. Let me see. I think you can sort by default. No, you've got a good.
It's just to find the action plan. You tag it to say, what are my pre-cancel action plans?
Right. Like, so yeah, so the tag, that's exactly what it's to do, is to kind of help. But then again, as as she's saying, she already kind of has them organized into folders, if I'm not correct, right?
Yes, that's what I'm just trying to understand what the benefit of the tag is versus,
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm beginning
Well,
to
and
see.
the way we set it up was because they were all real estate terms, we just created an LSA tag and put everything in there. And the rest of them, I don't think we've even been using.
Right.
And so I guess they would be simpler, like what Kathy's saying, is leave it with the LSA because then it all goes to where we want it to go. But are there other tags that we could use that maybe would help us in our business some other way that doesn't actually go, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't have buyers and sellers, but would you
from a searching perspective,
from a
right?
searching thing, yeah, where maybe you're
Okay,
trying to
okay.
do a personal action plans, or you're trying to do something else where they wouldn't be commingled with your legal shield stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure how to use those other tags, but
So this is
Yeah,
the
that's what was
filter.
kind of losing me.
yeah.
This is like the filter, right? So if it's tagged LSA, it should go find the ones that have
Right.
the tag, and it looks like they didn't they don't have the filter by tag here, is what it looks like. So it seems kind of useless because it allows you to tag it, but it doesn't allow you to filter by the tags. And that's what this was intended for, so that you could filter by those. So I think that's an oversight from them.
Okay.
I'll have to bring that up, because the way that it is right now, yeah, it doesn't. But it would be that way that you guys could go in to just look at everything that's legal shield oriented. Let me see if it does it with now. See, so for this, these I think are
I think
tagged.
for people that have multiple businesses, that might be helpful, because then they may
Mhm.
have action plans and things for their other
Yep.
business.
Right, I would agree, Cassie.
Yeah.
For
So-
us, we've already got them sorted
Right,
technically, because that's
folders.
all, but that's all we're doing is
Mhm.
legal shield, so.
And can they make those tags customizable like we do somewhere so that we could label them ourselves,
There,
the rest of them?
I'm gonna say no to that one,
Okay.
because in some cases when I've requested things like that, the amount of work behind it to allow everybody to be able to do that, there is
Okay.
some challenge that they find that I think they don't want. So I think what I can do is I can set those, and I can
Okay.
adjust those. And so I
So
would have
let's
to bring
say
them.
I wanted to use it for my real estate business. I have the LSA for my legal shield, but then if I want to use it for my real estate,
Mhm.
I can still use the buyer seller. And
Right,
it's
for
going to
the
keep
people.
it separate. So if they still work, we would just have to know those other labels mean something, and we could use it for my car business or my church or whatever I wanted to use it for. I just would know that that label meant whatever to me. Because you
True.
can't change the labels, is what you're saying, right?
Right. I think I can. I think I can get into the back of this, and I think they have a little spot where I can change those. So
Okay.
it would have to either be somebody, like we all come to an agreement and say, hey, these are the ones that we like,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Something similar to the lead
Okay.
labels.
Yeah.
So if you have a good idea, if you want to brainstorm something and present it to me,
Okay.
I would definitely review it and see if it's something that we can, make happen.
Okay.
So questions about action plans. I know we haven't actually looked at an action plan, but it's relatively simple when it comes to, okay, so we're in the
So setting up the triggers is still all the same,
all
all
of that
that
is
stayed, okay,
all that logic, all of that
okay.
stuff is,
Because I don't want to have to go back because I did it all. I'm like, I don't want to have to redo it.
yes, no, and you did one hell of a job. So, and that was
Mhm.
a lot of work to tell you
Yes.
the truth. So I wouldn't want to sit in that meeting as well. But yes, so here is your options again, right? These are your warnings and your statistics. This is where you add activities. ooh, I can see a change. I don't know if you guys can notice the change, but it does not have where you can actually modify and change something. So let's say if you had they start off with proposal, and then you want them, if they have whatever category that you have, and then you want to change that, you could at the end of this action plan in the old version. So I'm going to have to ask them to see if that's something that they can, if it's something that they intended to take out, or if it's just, oh, we didn't know that we didn't put that. But here you can trigger the plan. So here are all your options. This is to go find an individual and to start off an action plan. So it gives you basically all of your list of people so that you can go find and send it out. Your other option is event date. So by any of the dates available, all of these transactions we don't have anymore. However, it's showing, so I'm going to have to talk to them about. But based on these dates, you could start an action plan. And okay, go ahead. This one's just business rules. So these are all the little referral, like that you could do it off the name, off the sales cycle, referral source, status. You could use all of these fields to trigger something or to trigger the action plan.
Okay, so I actually have a question on this that I wanted to set up a call with you and me and Cassie to talk about how to touch a third party like a broker in this. So this is great timing because I do need to set up something with you to
Okay.
figure out how we can do this.
Sure. What was the
So it's like a broker that
mhm,
I work with has
right?
an account that I'm part of. They want me to notify them 60 days ahead of time when they're up for renewal. So I have to contact the broker, not the contact. So I want to set up a way to say to the broker, you know, ABC companies coming up for renewal on August 1st or October 1st.
I think you
So
can do that.
there's some,
By email, is that okay?
yeah, email's fine. It's just how do we do it? Because they're linked they're in under the contact, the company contact as a link, right? I've linked the broker to
The
the
contact,
group.
right?
Yeah, to the contact, but I don't want to contact the company. I want to contact the broker. So yeah, and there's no way that I could see to pull up link contact as an option. So I just want to present this to you that we need to get on a call and talk about it
Oh, you got my
here
hamster
shortly
wheel.
because I'm getting asked.
You got my hamster running 1,000 miles an hour right now, thinking about that one. So
I know, right?
I will definitely go away.
Yeah, we need to do it soon because I've got them coming up where it's like, yeah, I said, sure, no problem. And I went, how am I going to do this?
All right. So yeah, I love to sit in those little meetings and kick the can around. But yeah, so these
Kathy,
are this.
the thing we need to do is stop saying, yeah, sure, before we can figure out how to do it, because, I'm with you on that. Like,
You're right. I should have said no, but
Let me
or I'll
see if
get
I
back
can
to
do
you.
it. Yeah, right. Well, all right. It's okay. Challenge accepted. How about that? So
Exactly.
I won't back down. So the advanced options is advanced options, a little bit more additional things you can do with this one, such as reoccurring. You can do it by the year of the month, day of the month, whether if it's a Sunday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. This is where you can set up incoming. So if you're adding leads, so contacts that were created today, if you use this as a trigger, any contact that you put in could begin to get welcome emails, could begin to get all kinds of stuff, right? And you could set that up. Also, if it created or updated, so if you updated something, that also could trigger something. And this could also be from days ago as well. And then this option is all your contacts. So when you're doing something in which it involves to pick people out of your pool, you want to use this. And So these are just some of the triggering options that you have access to. Let's see. So this was the calendar view, responses. This is just like from before. You can take a look at your received, your sent, your opened. All your filters are the same as well. You can filter whether if it's everything or just your text messages. When you send out emails, if you go to responses, you'll see that they kind of sit here in a little box to the right, where you'll just kind of see it. It'll give you a message that it will be sent within the next 30 minutes. So that's an indication that you've got your emails going out. Let's see, touch points. Touch points if you haven't. Let me just go ahead and snooze on that. Let's wait for touch points. So if you don't know what touch points is, it's a way through your sales cycle status categories where you can set up velocities. So reach out to these groups of people every 15 days, meaning if if you had like who are people you would want to follow up that don't, like, let's say prospects or people in the decision maker or in the proposal or in the enrollment stage. If you want to set up those frequencies so that anybody that's in those stages, you can always follow up with them and kind of use this tool to push them forward. I think that's also going to help you guys bring in the deals. And so you guys are welcome to use this. You get an email every Monday morning with a list of everybody you need to reach out to, and then this will have everybody here, and this will have where you can access their contact, send them a text message. You'll be able to do everything from this page if you wish. And then there is, oh, your templates. Everybody loves the templates. So here's our library of templates. Here is all the other templates that I've created and that I've stolen from here and put into my own. So nothing has changed with this. If you click one, you can open up the mini. Oh, the enrollment doesn't have anything. Let's go to this one.
Is there any way we can see new templates? Because I think sometimes things get put back here and we don't necessarily know there's a template back here now for it.
Well, I've tried to, when new stuff's come out, I've tried to notify you guys with like a nice little email to the whole group. But now that you mention it, it would be good, something to say, maybe like, how long would you want it to notify you of a new? 30 days?
Yeah,
So if I
maybe
put
put in
something
front
up,
of it, maybe put in front of the, whatever it is, put new.
if I create it and I leave it new, it's always gonna, the new ones are always gonna say new. And the dates is what we decided to use so that you guys could see this is the month and year. These were created last year. But I was thinking maybe like a little new icon that would just float above it and it would just last for 30 days. And then so that way, if you saw a bunch of new little icons over these folders, you could say to yourself, oh, there's a new email, a new text message. You open it up, you see it, it does it for 30 days.
Oh,
If it's
yeah.
something that you think that you need, I would suggest pull it down to your own so that you then have it in your own, circle and you can do things there.
Yeah, that could work.
And so this is the new UI. It's a little bit different. You can see that there's a couple of things that are missing, such as smart tags, but if I'm pretty sure if you do the @ symbol, it'll bring up the smart tags. So it's just not here as a button. So these are all things that have been reported and we're just slowly waiting for them to correct. But I think also this one, hyperlink, Rick, you had said there's a command for it and I tested it. What was it? It was control K. Yeah. So if you don't see this, like when you're creating an email, I think, like if you're doing it in one of these views and you're doing an email, send an email, blah, blah, blah. Like here, you do Control K and it will allow it brings up the menu so that you can do the link. I didn't know that there was like a keystroke for it, but that's like a little workaround for the moment. But we should get those icons back to this menu shortly. So for at the moment, things are simple, simple, bold and that kind of stuff. But the options should come back, and so that is that. Well, I do hope this was some help in helping everybody kind of reorient themselves, but definitely do the Cassie approach, force yourself. Go ahead, Jackie.
Quick question. When Kathy was talking earlier, it triggered me to think about the signatures. So right now you can either, or on the old one, you could turn your signature on or off. Is there any way to do it specifically just for an email that I'm sending out or for a action plan, but not turn it off for the rest of the program? Is there a way to,
So,
or have a different, yeah, so you could have a different one or none on something?
if you wanted none, I would say that you would just have to be mindful of,
Okay.
you don't have auto signature set. That means you either have to put the smart tag at my signature or at my social link or at my review that way, or you just basically copy paste it from wherever you have it, and then you can just put it into the email yourself so that it has that specific one. Or if
Okay,
you
so if
build
I
the
have it
template,
tagged because it's on, it goes to everything, right? The
yes, if this,
signature, and I have it selected that way. So if I don't want it in there,
you have to remove it.
I delete it. I have to turn the tag off for everything and remember to turn it back on.
Correct.
Okay,
And then or create templates with what you want to be in it,
and use that template.
and then
Okay,
use that template, turn these off, and then that way it just goes out as that template was built with the signature that you have in it. Make sense?
yeah, that would be a lot of work though, because then you'd have to go for, if you're sending individual emails, you got to turn it on or off. I
No,
don't
I'm
know.
saying
Yeah.
that you would have to completely turn off all your signatures and
Mhm.
just be mindful. If I'm sending something, I have to use my smart tag with my signature or one of my other signatures, or
Okay.
use the template that has the signature already built into the template.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So I have to run into something else. So I definitely thank everybody for showing up.
Thanks, Jeremy, for the review. Appreciate it.
Send me an email when you
Thank you.
have a time and date when you want to kind of get together. I'm always open. And so
Today or tomorrow works. Not that I'm in a hurry, but
I am getting busy today, so definitely the evening towards the later in the afternoon is open at this moment. Right now I'm going to walk into something else and then I'll be into like 3-4 meetings back to back. So
okay.
but yeah,
I'll
so
get with
but I'm
Cassie.
open. Yeah,
All
definitely
right,
throw me
thank
something,
you.
get together,
Mhm.
and thank you everybody. That goes for everybody as well. When you guys have any issues, you guys know where to find me.
Bye.
Okay,
Jeremy.
appreciate you.
All right. Ciao,
Thanks.
ciao, everybody. Bye now.
Bye.